soon.
Good morning, LinkedIn. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, the world. Coming up on today's show in a few minutes, we have Badil McCaskill. Lovely to see Badil here today. Then we have Zafran Khan, and followed by Hannah Matarazzo. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you? And welcome back, can I say?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back. How was the last 2 weeks?
Just absolutely brilliant. We had the best viewing figures we've ever had. Yeah, it was just amazing. Everyone said I did a really good, better than normal job. They said.
Brilliant. Wow. Fantastic.
That was lovely, actually. We had some really super guests on. We had lots of support, lots of comments coming in. Talking of comments, if people want to send us some comments, we can always give them shout outs, can't we?
We can. So if you're out there and you're watching live on LinkedIn, pop your details in the chat below. Say hi. We'll give you a shout out. If you want to ask any questions to anybody, any of the guests today, then just let us know and we'll ask those questions for you. So, Ed, what have we got coming up? So let's have a look at the new club members, shall we?
Oh, I think we should look at the new club members. It's pretty exciting.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's hit this button.
I'd like to say welcome on board to Gareth Johnson, who's joined us from RWB HQ. We've got James Taylor, who's joined us from Cobra Hive. Peter Francis, who's joined us in Cobra Business Solutions. David Arthur Hora, who's come on to RWB HQ. Jamie Pearce, who's joined us at Cobra Connect. John Hood, who's joined us at Cobra Express. And Judith Hamilton, who just joined us from Cobra Jurassic, who right now know the fish and chips on the south coast. Woof.
Fantastic. So much going on at the Cobra Club at the moment.
Busy. We're getting some lovely people coming in, and the club's doing really, really well. We've got a really buoyant membership and presence, so it's quite lovely, and really supportive too, which is really nice.
That's what it's all about. So what I think I should do, Ed, because I can see Badil down in the green room, munching away on the peanuts there.
She does. She just can't stop herself.
So just before we get Badil in, I'm going to attempt to play Badil's little intro video. So let's get this going.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah. So here we go.
Fantasizing about a future where you have financial freedom. 2020 has been tough, especially if you've experienced loss of earnings. But now's the time to take.
Is that working, Ed?
And not working very well, Mr. Hatcher.
Okay, we have a technical issue. Not to worry. Let's stop that and let's let's come back to that in a bit. But let's get Badil straight in. So here we go.
Yeah. Hello, Badil. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Yes, I'm good. You always find me the same way, apart from first thing in the morning. Not a morning person.
What happens in the morning then, Badil?
Oh, well, grumpy. Very grumpy.
Pretty grumpy.
Yeah, I need to have lots of caffeine. At least 2 shots of caffeine before I actually come alive. And then I'm fine.
Well, you're alive at the moment. So, and it's great to see you today, and thanks for coming on LinkedIn Live. So what we normally do, Badil, is to ask our guests, first and foremost, a bit about themselves and a bit about their journey, what you've done in the past, leading up to where you are now.
Okay. In the past, and it's a long past, remember, I've got my free bus pass now, so that shows you how long it's been since I started my journey. I started off in hospitality. I worked for South Africa's largest contract catering firm, kind of senior management there. I was in South Africa for 16 years, came back to the UK in '96 with 3 teenage girls, which was a toughie. It was really tough, but they're all doing what they want to do. They're now all in their 30s, 36 to 39. Wow. So I actually got rid of my kids out of the house fairly early on. They all left home at either 16 or 17. So I've obviously brought them up very, very independent. They're all doing what they want to do. And I didn't really get back into the same roles as I had been in South Africa, the ones that I really, really enjoyed. So what I did was I started my own catering business. There I was doing dishes, stirring pots, chopping, cooking for hundreds of people, which was 70 hours a week. Not great. So what I then did was I went to work in a bank.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Less said about the bank, the better. The one thing that I will say is that I've met some beautiful friends there, absolutely fantastic, lifelong friends. But I did need to get out for various reasons, and I was looking for something. I came across digital business cards, and this was about 5 years ago. And it's been a journey since then. The last year has been with Go Paperless, who are absolutely fantastic at development. What I was finding was that although I don't write code, I've got no idea on how to write code, but I was finding that the less that you develop, the further down the ladder you're going to go. So you've got to keep on developing. I suppose it's a bit like personal development. Yeah. You've got to keep on doing something.
Well, it's yourself, isn't it? So.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So Go Paperless has been around for about 18 months now. Started just after lockdown, a bit like Cobra. And it's just been a fantastic journey. I've got a superb team of people all across the globe. I'm still looking for new people to pick that ball up and just run with it, whether they be in the UK or Australia, America, Canada, anywhere, because it's global.
For anyone watching out there, what is a digital business card?
Oh, digital business card. Because of these things, we've got 500 years of tradition here, but they all end up in the bin anyway. 88% of them are ending up in landfill. So that's why we go digital. A digital card is held on your phone. Yeah, there's Ed with his box of cards. Going to end up in landfill. A Go Paperless digital card gives you not just telephone, text, WhatsApp facilities directly on the card, but it's also got all your web links, or as many as you want on there, to try and funnel your customers in to where you want them to be. It's got your social media links, it's got video, gallery, it's also got a Google map, so if anybody wants to come and have a face-to-face meeting with you, it's there. The one thing that we can do, though, at Go Paperless, that none of the other digital cards can do, because there are quite a few of them out there now, they have kind of come out the woodwork over the last year. The one thing that we can do is we can show you in the back office of your card when you log in, who shared your card, to whom they've shared it, their email address, telephone number, and the date and time that it was received. So if it says Ed has sent my card on to Andrew, it will come up in my back office. I'll be able to pick up the phone and say, "Hi, Andy, it's Bodil here. Ed sent you my card yesterday at 12:45. You're wanting to have a chat." And that's how easy it is to get a warm referral in the back office of your digital card.
Fantastic.
It is a really, really useful toy.
It's a marketing tool that is second to none, honestly, and we're still developing other bits and pieces that are going in there to make it even better for the client. Because at the end of the day, you've got to listen to what the client is needing, what they want, and then work on that and develop that.
And are you finding that sort of people are, I suppose, willingly, because I mean, moving from a business card, which is, I don't know, probably 300 years old, I suppose, the printing technology, you know, it's a, I don't know if it's a mind thing or a sort of, you know, we're all used to having a piece of card in our hands. And is it being warmly sort of received? How are people managing and getting on with digital cards? Are they finding it easy to use?
What the clients are finding is, yes, it's easy to use. It's a very simple thing to use. However, there is the mindset of the bit of paper. But if I was to give you a statistic, like only 1% of digital business cards, paper cards, are saved to contact, that's a statistic that's out there. And with a digital card, you're usually looking somewhere around about 20 to 25 are saved to contact. Not all of them are saved. But 25% is a hell of a lot more than 1%. Resistance, yeah, there is a bit of pushback because people like to have the bit of paper. There's lots of videos out there about what people feel about bits of paper and what they say about their ego, etc. However, it's a tradition that won't be broken, and nobody wants to break that tradition of the paper card. Little bit of resistance, however, you can have both. 5 years ago, I bought 500 business cards, paper business cards. I've still got 250 left. So, you know, you can use both. And in fact, that's something that, you know, printers, one of my referral partners would be a printer because they do all the print work. However, they can add this into the portfolio as well and say, yep, Mr. Client, you're getting a roller banner and you're getting 500 paper cards from us. However, let's back that up with a marketing tool, which is a digital card. Yeah,
that sounds really interesting that you can sort of integrate these, you know, the traditional business card with a new digital platform as well, and they can both work alongside each other. Fantastic. So just quickly, we've got a couple of people sort of said hello this morning. So let's say hello to Christina D'Souza. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Christina.
Good to see you. Got Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
You don't look old enough, Bodil.
Yep, I am.
Hello. And we've got Meenal on as well.
Hi, Meenal.
all in a state of shock. Everyone's right now just
the
shocked.
Filters. It's the filters.
It's really quite fantastic about what Bodil sort of allows people to do. I mean, the product itself is time and money saving. For all the people I meet who are sort of self-employed or running a small business and that side of things, they all struggle. The biggest thing they struggle with is marketing or getting leads or getting business through the door. And the digital marketing card just seems to me to be a fantastic way of reducing your marketing costs and increasing your reach, if you like. And also just looking after people. It's quite interesting that a lot of people are looking to make a sale, which is great. That's not... Sort of, you should go a little bit further than that and try and make a customer. So a sale is great. I want a customer. I want a relationship with people. And sometimes that relationship starts before the sale. And things like the digital business card enable you to start to have a relationship with people, to understand where they've come from, what they're doing, to lead to a sale, but then to keep that person moving forwards. And I think a digital business card is a fantastic opportunity to be able just to see that journey, so you can actually communicate with your future customers.
Absolutely. And of course, you can change anything on the card at any time. If you've got a new promotion that's going on, you would put that on your card. Everybody gets the update. Everybody knows that there's something new on there. If it was a hairdresser's, it's a free cut with a colour on a Wednesday in Julember.
I love Julember.
Yes, it's a great month.
Yeah, no, it's a great month, Julember. The other side of the coin, I suppose, Badil, is that it's quite sort of altruistic in the way that the setup of the company is a bit forward thinking, really. So that you're sort of looking for people who get it, who want to make something happen with it, and then without the restrictions that a typical company would put on, these targets, your ceiling, and all that sort of stuff. It is, if you want to come and work with Go Paperless, it's you can earn what you want to earn and break through those sort of boundaries, and it's quite amazing actually seeing some people really fly using that sort of system, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And the thing is, there's only actually one target, and that is that you have to be able to basically recoup the costs of coming in as an associate in the first year, and that would mean selling 5 cards. That's the only target anywhere. And that's all to do with, obviously direct selling and Ponzi scheme type rules. You've got to be careful of.
Yeah. So not only can you have a digital business cards, you can sell them as well and make a bit of cash on the side, which is
yes,
or have a significant first business. I mean, it is.
Well, it
is my first business, as in my main business, and there's only another 2 of the team that are the same as myself. This is all that we do. However, most of the team, and there's over 100 out there, most of them have got it as what they call a side hustle. So they've already got a business in place. And what I've actually found is the chaps that do energy, especially commercial energy, water, merchant services, those are the guys who are really good at selling the digital card concept, because it's their customer already.
So when you're seeing, because you do a lot of networking, you like to network. When you're seeing people networking, don't answer this quite yet. What sort of, obviously you can see people not networking very effectively, and some people work very effectively. What's your sort of top tip for people that you meet who want to get better at using this environment to produce business?
Whoa, that was loud.
That made you jump.
It certainly did.
You don't need caffeine on here.
Best tip with networking and just networking in general. Listen to what people are saying.
Yep.
Hook up with them on LinkedIn or any other platform that is appropriate to you. I prefer LinkedIn because it's business to business. I would also say get a one-to-one with the people that you find interesting. I'm not saying that there's no people out there that are not interesting. They're all interesting, but you can only do so many one-to-ones in a week. But really listen to what they're saying. What are they looking for? What makes them tick? Yeah. What's their why, basically? What makes them get up in the morning and do what they do?
I think that's great advice.
And then when you'll also get the pain points in their business as well. So that's where you can find that if you can't help them yourself, you'll know somebody that can help. So that would be the best thing. Listen.
I think that's spot on.
Yeah,
it's a mistake a lot of people make, isn't it, Andy, when they go networking, is they just want to tell everybody about their product.
Yes. Yeah. It's just listen. Find that little sort of nugget and then expand on that essentially. And it's all about connections. But I just there's got a few more comments. Barry Sapsford, Barry and Debbie have just joined. Sorry we're late. Hi, Barry.
Hi, Baza. Hi, Debbie.
We've got Alan Cohen. This is going to make you smile.
Hello.
This might make you smile as well.
Oh, Beverly, you sweetheart.
Yes.
In your pocket, Beverly. Look it. Hey.
Then we've got Alan. Hi, Alan. Yeah, good advice there, Alan. And
Yes.
John agrees with that, saying good advice.
How about you, John?
And he also says, 2 ears, 1 mouth.
Correct.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
I think that's a Scottish saying, 2 years, 1 mouth.
I don't think it's a Scottish saying at all. I think that's English brought it to the Scots and they said, oh, that's a nice thing.
Well, I would argue that point with you.
So we're rapidly running out of time, Badil. It goes so quickly. But if someone wants to get hold of you, how would they do so?
Well, if you could, or I could post my card onto the chat, that would actually be the easiest way because all my details are there. It's like when you're on a networking, a Zoom chat, you put one link on. You don't need to put your LinkedIn, your email address, your telephone number, your landline, your address, your shoe size, your inside leg measurement. You don't need all of those links. You just put one link, takes you to the card. But yes, those are my details in the bottom.
Fantastic. So maybe after this, you could go onto the live stream, post your detail, post your card link on there, and we can see it in actually happen. So
I sure will.
Fantastic. So thank you so much, Badil. I wish we could have more time. But,
so do I. I'm just loving this. You guys are just wonderful. And what you've done at Cobra is... I mean, I do remember Cobra right at the very beginning, and it was like a Wednesday night meeting talents, and that was kind of it. And now look, you've got over 20 meetings a week, and how many members? Hundreds.
It's cooking along, which is lovely.
Yes, it is. A very supportive club.
Thanks to people like you who make it what it is. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Badil. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Hi, Zaf. You're live.
Hi. Morning, Ed. Morning, Andy. Lovely to see you guys.
Morning, Zaf. How are you, mate? Good to see you.
Not too bad. Can you hear me okay? Because I've been having some difficulty
fine
with my internet earlier.
No, you're right. You're rocking the look, and good to see you today.
Yeah, good to see you too as well. You had a nice little break?
Yeah, very, very nice, actually. Good to be back. And thanks to Ed, who held the fort magnificently.
It was great.
Yeah, Ed did a fantastic job.
I was running
sailing
down
the ship.
the Hello Halls, the Cobra Club, screaming and shouting and doing whatever I liked. It was fantastic. I had parties. It was just great fun.
So, Zaf, it's been a little while since you've been on the Gritty Business Show. I wonder if you could give us an update with what you're doing and a bit about your journey, maybe for people that haven't seen you on the Gritty Business Show before. So take it away.
I'm Zaf Khan, based over in Birmingham, in the West Midlands, and I come from the background of sales. So we're 28 years, working in the corporate sales, business to business, working for various companies. And then last 2 years, my journey has been with the FSB, Federation of Small Businesses, and their ambition is to help small, medium businesses to achieve their ambitions. They're a non-profitable sport organization that's been around coming up to 47 years. And they have just over 160,000 members that are made up of from various sectors, from manufacturing, IT, right down to architect. So all the sectors are out and available. And their primary role is to make sure that there's a strong voice heard and protection for the small and medium businesses.
It's been a tough time at the moment for small businesses. And what are the main because you're obviously going out seeing a lot of firms, a lot of business owners, and what are the main problems that people are experiencing? Is it all the same? Is it finance? Is it just no sales?
A mixture of everything. I mean, you've got some businesses, they've just been hit purely because, just like, for example, hospitality industry. Now, the hospitality industry is only just recently, the restrictions that were lifted, that they came back in. So that kind of industry, independent, hotel owners and so forth, they've been really hit a lot because, they were closed for the last 18 months. And then, Andy, what you mentioned, some other businesses were hit by financial. Some businesses couldn't get help from the grants, the schemes that came in place just wasn't enough. And then you had, other businesses that did operate, and they are going through a mixture of, problems within their companies. Like you have the employees are the greatest asset to any employer. It's the greatest asset when you have it. But also, on the flip of a coin, the same employees can be a headache to employers as well. So there's a dispute of, like majority of staff that had to be furloughed. Now they don't want to come back into work. They're happy to stay furloughed. And you got things going on, with that sort of cases, with employers not happy with the employees and the way things are. And so this mixture of of those that's out there. But you know what? The one thing that is that I like the fact that everything's now getting back to certainty. Before it was uncertainty, now it's certainty, and you can see some improvements out there now. So yeah.
Okay. And how's the FSB? What's the FSB doing to help? You touched on
FSB,
it earlier.
everything they can. I mean, they're still lobbying. Don't with the pandemic, we've got the Brexit, and with the Brexit, the businesses that trade overseas, to making sure they get right sort of policies in place for them of what's going to happen. So they're working on that side. Then the kickstart scheme that that was again lobbied on behalf of the FSB with the government to give chance where they can get people in, help small businesses. So that's in place as well. And yet, whatever the issues that the business is facing, FSB, lobby all on their behalf. So, as a members out there, one thing I do recommend and say that the more you are active and the more you are involved with the FSB, the better it is for you and your business.
Yeah, that's with like so many other things. The more you put into it and the more you engage with whatever product or service it is, the more you're going to get out of it. And I mean, I obviously know the FSB, being a member myself, and it just has a massive wide array of products and services to support small business.
Also, Andy, the FSB has launched the FSB app. I'm just going to close this one now. The FSB have launched a FSB app. So for the members, they can actually download, whether it's on Android or whether you're on iOS, on the iPhones. And that has all your information that you need. So when you're out and about on the road, you got the apps as well. So for those who don't know, so that's a good one to download as well. So there's more things, happening, for the members as well.
I believe FSB, does it cover you with insurance? You get cyber insurance. Is that covered within your membership?
Now that everything is online, we're doing everything virtually online. Okay, we need our equipment's protected. We need cyber security in place. Now, you've put effort, you've put passion into your business to get it up and running on online. And now that when it finally goes online, okay, you got sensitive information that you're carrying of you and your clients. Now, if that gets into the wrong hands, the implications can be really, really severe. So the basic thing that we can do, even if you don't want to hire, I mean, there's levels of cyber security that you want. But one way is that you get a basic cover that covers you up to £10,000, which everybody needs to have a look, because the mobile phones that we carry, they got so much information of our clients and our equipment, and we want to be protected.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And imagine as a small business or a medium business hasn't got those things in place. Security, is not very good. Sensitive information goes into the wrong hands. The severe consequences can be really, really bad. we're doing some sort of transactions. We're buying online, we're shopping online. So so I say cyber should be now priority for everybody to get those everything in place. And with the FSB, you can have a look what levels they are, and they can get that those insured, and use one of those benefits that helps the small businesses. So you get that part of a benefit of the cybersecurity.
Yeah. Well, we had some comments come in. First one is from Alan, who agrees with everything you say, Zaf. FSB is a must for small businesses, and great comment there, Alan. David McKenna, he likes certainty. We like certainty. Yeah. What were you talking about earlier? And Hannah thinks you look sharp in purple, Zaf.
Thank you, Hannah.
Brilliant. So you obviously got your FSB going on, but you're obviously sales training as well with other companies, and you've got a Cobra Club too, haven't you?
You know what? With the certainty for the last 18 months that we all gone through, and how everything came stronger, and especially to you two gentlemen as well. Sitting in March of last year, when everything just shut down on a Friday, you had that weekend and you thought, right, what's going to happen? How are we going to do it? Where are we going to go? Who are we going to go and see? And then the Cobra was launched. And then rest history. Now we're sitting here in 18 months. It's been an absolutely fantastic journey to be part of a Cobra Club for myself. Just to be part of a Cobra Club, and within that community, it's amazing. It's amazing. I say, it's a Cobra family. But then to take Cobra, Monday Mayhem, to all the way to the West Midlands and introduce. And now that's coming up. Next week will be 12 months since Monday Mayhem has been happening. 12 months. Wow. So it's been a fantastic journey, through that. And through that, meeting a lot of different, business from business backgrounds, amazing, collaborating. And then going back to what you said, apart from the FSB, again, I'm also, a sales trainer, and I help, work individually with smaller businesses, and with, businesses that need, sales. Because what you come across is that a lot of businesses, two things you need: you need ability to sell and ability to communicate. And if you haven't got ability to communicate, and then you haven't got ability to sell, then you are sitting. Because I've come across a lot of businesses, they've said, I've got a fantastic website. Brilliant. They got everything what business needs, but I'm not gaining any clients. Having a website is fantastic, but then with the website you've got to attract traffic, audience, and that's where you've got to sit with the SEOs and get your name on top of that. So there are mechanisms that goes through it. So I work with individually with those businesses, and first thing I say, well, okay, if you're going to get somebody to come in and do your sales work for you, you need to know sales yourself. And Ed will agree with this, because again, Ed comes from the same background. Sale is not to sell. So a lot of people like to sell, but they don't like to be sold to. But the real value of sales is that you're not selling. All you're doing is you helping them to make the decision. That's what you're doing. It's like, they want to make a decision, they want a person, but they need help with somebody. You come in and you just start. There's a process that you have to take that client through. It's a journey, a process. But at the end, that client makes their decision. What you've done is you help them, and that help comes by listening and by understanding them. Because you can sell, but sometimes you're going to say, you know what? I don't think this person needs this. And it's nice sometimes to walk away from and to give them something which they don't want or they don't need.
Yeah, really good advice. Obviously, FSB, you go and see a lot of people, and I'd advise anyone, because I knew Ed was in FSB, anyone to get in touch with their local FSB advisor, because they can open up so many doors. And you're a really talented guy, and you've obviously been around the block. But what I really want to know, Zaf, is sort of, along your journey and all the skills you've acquired, who was one of your biggest inspirations in life? Don't answer that just yet. Answer it in a second.
Well, there's so many of that, but just to narrow it down a bit, I'll give two. One, because I come from, sports background, so I played a professional cricket. So as a very young age, again, you could have role models. So as I was growing up, so it was people like Imran Khan, Ian Botham, and Jeffrey Boycott. These were the sort of personalities that that I looked up to, and they inspired. And then when I came into the world of sales, there's two people that that changed everything. One was Jim Rohn, okay, massive in personal development, and I say that if it wasn't for Jim Rohn, there would be no Tony Robbins. Again, it's a different subject, a different time. And then the other one was Zig Ziglar, the late Zig Ziglar. These people inspired, because what you got to remember is you can have a business, but the personal development of the mindset has to be right, and that's going to come from someone that they did it. And these were the people that I look up to now and inspired by, that helped my journey, especially because I had a nasty car crash when I was the age of 22, and everything just sort of collapsed. And being in sales at that time, they teach you all about, motivation and positive mental attitude. When things are going good for you, okay, when the things are going good for you, you don't need to be positive because things are happening. But when things don't go for you, and you're in the really dark side of where you are, it's how you come out of it. And it's then these inspirational, these Jim Rohns, these Zig Ziglars, and their strategies that they're put in place is right, the power of mind, because that's the computer. It's like how I'm going to do it, and that's how you feed it, and then you come out. So these were the people that inspired me to do what I am. Yeah,
it's interesting when you talk, and we hear you talking, and you hear Badil talking. Actually, both of you say a very similar thing, which is spend time working on yourself. If you spend time educating yourself and learning and revising, I suppose, because a lot of this stuff we know, we just need to keep knowing to make it work. It pays dividends in the long term because it keeps you steady, doesn't it?
I mean, just to give you one example of it, I mean, these last 18 months, they've been tough for everybody. Somehow, in those 18 months, the pandemic has hit us all, whether it be emotionally, physically, whichever way, it's hit us all. But one thing it has given us is self-reflection on looking on the skills, because things, stopped. Like for me and you, Ed, we're face-to-face people. We're like going out, meeting clients, going to them. Rather, they come to us. We say, you stay where you are. We come to them. All that stops. So you got to get that. So for somebody like for myself to build up another skill was, I then, realized that, what, I need to get my message across. But how do I do it? Let's launch a podcast. I never done a podcast before. I thought to myself, what, I might not sound professional, but what? In sales, we say, let's create an opportunity. Let's go for it. And then see what happens. And then here we are.
So that you can always refine afterwards, but the best thing is to go and do something rather than do nothing. If you do something, you can always tweak it as you're going along. But if you do nothing, you do nothing. And last little thing there from John: it's not the wind that blows, but the set of the sail, from Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn, absolutely.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thanks, Zaf. Just quickly, Zaf, if we need to get hold of you, anyone out there listening wants to speak to Zafran Khan, how would they go about it?
They can see my email, my mobile, and then you got my website, LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on FSB, I'm on the Facebook page as Zafran Khan. I'm also on LinkedIn as Zafran Khan FSB. And then also I have my FSB podcast webpage, which is Biz Chat with Zaf. And they can get a hold of me on there. My telephone number's there, and also my email's there as well, so they can get in touch with me whichever way they can. Yeah.
Awesome, get in touch through the Cobra Club too. So many channels to get hold of Zaf.
Yeah.
Great, thanks, Zaf. It's been inspirational, actually. I love hearing you talk, and I hold you in high regard. The way you talk and that it's brilliant. I love it. So. Thank you so much for coming on today. And
thank you very much for yourselves, for giving me time to come on and talk for 10, 12 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we'll get you back on soon for another go soon. All right, Zaf, take care. See you soon.
Take care. See you later. Bring the funk
Hello, Hannah.
Hey, Hannah, how are you?
You're
Welcome,
live.
welcome to the Gritty Business Show on LinkedIn Live. Do you know, Hannah? It would be it's quite funny because the whole of this show is interspersed with these videos, and when Andy and I just find them inspirational, and really nice to meet the person who actually made them all. Oh, that's you! Oh, fantastic! So creative. Really quite interesting.
Yeah, maybe we should start with a little bit of this, Ed. So let's give Hannah an intro, as she does all of our sort of videos and content and everything else. So let's give her a big shout out, and then she can tell us a bit more about how she goes about it after this.
I want to hear a little bit about your story to how you got to being the marketeer that you are now. What was that life journey like? How did you give me a potted story of how Hannah came from and from where Hannah's come to?
Okay. When I was growing up, I always wanted to be either a nurse or a barrister. And I ended up being a nurse, which was probably, I really, really wanted to do it. But when you're young, you don't really realize the impact of choosing a career, do you? So I think barrister would probably have got me a higher quality life. But I went for the nursing option. Then I ended up, so I was a pediatric nurse, and then ended up specializing quite quickly. I did advanced pediatric life support, so I would go to A&E if there was a child in resus, and I then did some further training and was an oncology nurse for children. I loved all of that. It was really intense, and at a young age, it was quite a lot to see and to sort of take in.
Yeah, a lot to cope with. I mean, that's
yeah,
a huge amount of mental stress there. I mean,
and those, I don't know if it's different now, but at that time there was no kind of support for your emotions, or no, you just went to the pub and drank heavily if anything bad happened. That was the therapy that most doctors and nurses practice. Once I then had my own children, it just became a little bit more difficult to cope with, because it's really rare that children get cancer, and it's really rare that they end up in resus in A&E. But when you're seeing it all the time, it becomes your normal. And so you get like a warped outlook on life. So once I had my own children, I kept thinking they were going to be really ill, because why would they not if these other children were? And then also just juggling stuff, like if you're doing palliative care at home, you can't leave to go and get your child from nursery when they're about to close. So it just became, for me, a bit unmanageable emotionally and time. And I decided actually I wanted to focus on my own children. And I felt it was a struggle, because I felt a bit guilty giving up stuff I'd put so much training into. But then I think there's seasons and times for things, isn't there? And I think I did my bit, and I've always got those skills, and they're part of who I am. But then so I shifted into a different phase then in life, which was about the children, my own children, and looking a little bit more about mental health, because we'd done quite a lot of mental health of children in our nurse training, and found that really interesting. So I ended up working for a charity, and schools bought into this charity, and any children that were struggling with their emotions and behaviour, I would get referred to me, and I would go and visit them. So I'd work with them and their families. And then the schools then wanted to employ me direct once they saw the impact of that work. So that's the sort of journey I was on. And I think all of the skills that I've learned over those sort of 20 or so years were all about building relationships, connecting with people, and emotions. That was all the sort of all blended together. And I've also always been quite a creative person. And the work I do with the children in school, we use creative practice for them to be able to explore their emotions. And then having met Andy and getting a little bit involved in the business world, just supporting him, which I'd never been part of, I just found I had an interest in the sort of social media and the marketing stuff. But that's the same thing. It's like building that connection, building that emotional connection. And so started making little videos. Andy showed me how to make them and what to use. And then I think all of those skills sort of rushed into it. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I can be creative, but then I can use these other skills about the wording I use, or the music, or the pictures, the imagery, to create that emotional connection. And so just sort of moving into that business world, and that's where I'm at now.
So you've created a sort of niche of marketing, haven't you? An emotive marketing niche.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm a general marketing person. You know, I'm very specific in I will help you to create a connection with your consumer that's going to have a feeling, and that if it's got a feeling, then it's gonna create that loyal buy-in. It's gonna make people feel connected to you, your business, and want to support you or want to buy, or and so it is a specific niche. But I'm still doing the work in schools, because I think it's really important. I think in life, it's not all about how much money we can earn, is it? Or I would like. It's nice to earn enough money to have choices, to do things, but the fulfillment I get from the work that I've always done is just as important, I think. So it's about balance, isn't it? So if I can still do the small work, but then add in some of this marketing, this specific marketing, then I've got a good balance, and I'm still doing something worthwhile.
Definitely. I mean, the effect that it's had on the Cobra Club has been massive, because it genuinely helps us to boost that community thing. One of the successes of the Cobra Club is the community of it, and those videos help to cement that community across the board. They work really effectively. We've got nothing but praise, but I also know several customers who would also say exactly the same thing. I am a bit of a niche as well, in that so it's interesting, because I'm not from a marketing background and I'm not from a video background, so I'm different. I'm in this middle area, so I'm not going to look to come out to your business with loads of equipment and do like technical videoing. I will sit down with you, whether it's face to face or in Zoom, and just understand who you are, what your business is all about, and then I go away and then create the video using different techniques. Give that message over. That's the key to it, isn't it? Take that heart, that message, that the inner, what someone wants to say, and articulate it beautifully through the videos.
It's about the person and the feeling rather than the technology, and that for me that's what it is. So all it is for people then is to sit down and have a chat with me. It's not going to impact their work. I'm not going to come there and take a day of their time and be filming them, or it's just a meeting with me to really get to know them. And then any information they can supply, like websites and, bits and pieces they'd like. And then I go away and do my sort of creation, and then get back to them and do any tweaks.
Yeah. And what sort of clients have you been working for, Hannah? What sort of...
Well, I remember when I first started, Andy, and you said to me, you thought I'd work well with like the well-being clients and stuff, because that's obviously my background. And the interesting thing is, actually, I'm niched in how I do it and what I do, but not in the type of clients, because I can work with whatever you do, because it's about you and your business. So, and I think the great thing is as well, if I don't understand a business very well, like I did a HR video and I don't really know anything about HR really. But then that's great, because, or whatever you're trying to get across and selling, if I'm doing it from the perspective of I don't really understand it, so I've got to get to understand it to get the message across. So I'll do it in a way. Whereas when it's your own business, you just automatically think, you know it and you understand it, and you'll put it across in a different way. But so it can be any business. So I've done stuff for IT, for HR, for sort of wills and legal stuff, and like just like really different things. Hypnotherapist, you know, you're the Cobra Club. So it really doesn't matter the size of the business or what you do. I can still, it's about creating that, and it can be a general video for your whole business, or it can be a specific thing for something something that's new to your business, or an area you're looking at marketing. Anything can anyone.
Well, we definitely recommend.
We would 100%. If you want to see some more videos, we can make that happen. In fact, Hannah, I think you're probably one of the most multi-talented people that Andy and I know. So what you need to be able to do is always keep surprising us. So I think there are levels, talents that we haven't quite seen yet that maybe you're keeping hidden. So what, Hannah, is your hidden Now, whoever made that video, just a genius.
I do like the little snippety ones, like, because they're quite fun to make, you know. And that's my hidden talent, though.
Bear in mind, we know some of your talents.
I know, so you can't, like, all the general ones, like my knitting or cooking, or, you know. But the one that I would bring out if I've had like a few glasses of wine would be, which could be one of my greatest talents, perhaps, would be that I can play a number of Irish jigs on a tin whistle through my nostril.
No.
Yes, I can.
The mind wanders to what made you want to play a lot of Irish jigs through your nostril on a tin whistle. Can you play them like normally as well, or not?
Oh yeah,
Only through your nostril.
Generally. So I play my grandpa had this little roll of canvas that he'd made with a selection of different tin whistles, and taught me to play them. So I can play the tin whistle normally, and then play the flute. But I didn't discover the talent until I was doing my nurse training, and I think there was a Jack Daniels night, and then somehow I discovered the hidden talent of the nostril.
That's fantastic. You also have the amusement of putting it down and watching someone you don't particularly like picking it up, putting it in their mouth, and then go, I know what that was.
So just quickly, guys, we are rapidly running out of time, and what I was going to do is get Hannah to stay for the end of the show, as she created all of these videos. But before we get to all of that, Hannah, how does it work if someone wants to sort of meet you? There's a free consultation, and how do they get hold of you?
So yeah, just a cup of tea and a chat, I think, is always the best way to start any relationship. So my details are going along the bottom. That's not the correct phone number, so we'll ignore that one. But yeah, email. Find me on LinkedIn. Message me on LinkedIn.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And so what we normally do now, Hannah, because rapidly coming to the end of the show, is we go straight into we go straight into the events now. So what I thought we'd do, as Hannah created this video, we'd do it with the three of us doing it. So Ed go first, Hannah goes second, I'll go third. Okay.
I'm not liking this.
Go on, Hannah. And just quickly, obviously we've had a couple of comments. One from Meenal. Great to see Meenal again. She loves your videos, and so does Badil. Great to see Badil.
Oh, Badil's details are in the chat now, so if anybody wants to, she's had it 3 years now.
What's she had? I feel like we need to diagnose something.
Yeah, tell us what you've had, Badil. There's a tablet for that.
I love it. Anyway. You can't go. We've got lots of comments coming in now because of the ointment.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to go straight into the weekly events. Okay, Hannah. So make sure your microphone is unmuted. Okay, and you can help us out with this. You know the events because you created these, and you've got, just quickly before we do this, tell us about your Cobra Club and your Cobra event.
Monday, 4:00 every week, and it's a very relaxed, sort of informal style of networking. So it's really just about building those deeper connections, finding out about each other, and anyone's welcome to come along.
Cool. Thank you so much. So here we go. Get ready.
On a Monday morning, between 9 and 10 o'clock,
Fantastic. Go on, Hannah.
Chris's Virtual Coffee Club is on a Monday, 3 till 4 p.m.
Fantastic. Oh, I should have done it the other way around. Then we have the wonderful Hannah Matarazzo every Monday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. with Cobra Creative.
And then you can finish off the day with Monday Mayhem, the wonderfully panic 7:30 to 8:30 with that awesome Zafran Khan.
And then Tuesday at 10:30, we've got the lovely Jude West with Quest West. Not too fast.
Fantastic. Then we have the business fairy godmother herself, Tantalising Taylor, Amon Taylor, every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Come along.
Followed by Victoria Woods and her Cobra office.
Then it's the Titan Troubleshooters with Katrina Ellis at 4 p.m. on Tuesday.
Fantastic. Then we have the wonderful Beverly Rocket from the Cobra Hive, the Hive Mastermind, every Wednesday, 2 o'clock to 3:30 p.m.
Oh, and then pop up to the top of Snowdon. Oh, there's Julie up there with Rhian and Steve for Snowdon Summit. Business networking every Wednesday, 4 to 5:30.
And then it's the Wednesday night Meeting Talents event, which is 7 till 9 with Andy and Ed. And Ernie.
Then we have Mr. Jonathan Foy, Johnny Five Kids doing Cobra Connect every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
Now Barry would call it the main event, Cobra Live Link Up, every Thursday, 1 till 2. Come and have some fun with the live Link Up.
And then we've got Chris Mason, Cobra Strike, Thursday, 4 till 5 p.m.
Fantastic. Then we have all the way down in Lyme Regis, Louise Monblatt with Cobra Jurassic, Thursday, Friday, business networking event every Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah, and if you're a business fetish, you can join Jane Yates, Full Welsh Breakfast, Pen Cloud Couples, 10 hour, 9:30 to 7 o'clock.
And then you can join Alan Cadden on the Cobra Express every Friday, 2 till 3:30. It's like the Celtic Day Friday.
Brilliant. And then finally, last event of the week, Sharon Ritchie with Wind Down Friday, every Friday afternoon, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. See you there. But Ed, I've got a question for you. How does someone find out about See You There?
Well, I think they go along to www.thecobraclub.co.uk and book a virtual tour. Somebody booked a virtual tour during this meeting, hence me tapping away. So yes, no, come along, see us. If you need any information, it's either ed at or andrew at thecobraclub.co.uk. Yeah, come along every day, 12 o'clock. We'll give you a guided tour of the club and have a virtual cup of tea and a virtual cake with you.
Fantastic. So that's the end of another great show. Thank you to all our guests today. Thank you to Badil.
Yeah.
Thank you to Zaf. Thank you to Hannah. Thanks to everyone who's put messages in the comments, and just great to see you all. So what we're going to do, we're going to...
One thing, Andrew. You need to tell us who's your hero of the week. It just starts every time. I'm just there on the edge of my seat, just about to gallop off.
Thanks, Ed. Pretty straightforward, and she's watching today. So my hero of the week is Meenal Chowan. Hi, Mina. You're my hero of the week. Chatting with Mina earlier in Hannah's meeting this week, and she's grown a long way, and she's started her own HR sort of company within Cobra, and she's got some great results through coming on the show, actually, Gritty Business. And yeah, she's an example of hard work and just that growth mindset, really. So
great PMA. She just is focused. Just a lovely.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And congratulations, Mina. You're my hero of the week. So thanks, everyone. Let's hit this button and let's play out with, if I can find it. Here we go. All right, guys. Great to see you all. We'll see you again soon. Over and out, everyone.
Now you're watching me, yeah, all eyes on me, 'cause I've been living the good life. So come fly with me into my fantasy, and we be loving the good life, good life.
I think this dream now just hit me. Why don't you just go there with me? Surf in the skies and splash in the clouds, dance in the crowds and laugh out loud. Holding your hand, unfolding a plan. Two souls in a land like gold in a pan. Float in the breeze or soak in the sea. Come go there with me where we both wanna be. Lie on the beach or fly in the streets. I'm trying to keep this vine in the reach. Putting everything I do aside, me and you approach. We can travel to the very end of the universe. You and me are meant to be divine energy. Living with no rules in a pool of serenity. Come be my fantasy, go away with me. Lock us up in a dream and throw away the key. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. We need to rise with these new eyes. Pull the disguise off of these blue skies. Lights in the city reflect off the shoreline. When you're living this life, you want more time. Rewind the time, align planets. Ride this comet to a new dynamic. Your eyes on me, mine on you. Living the good life, we do what
Now
we
you're
want to.
watching me.